All right, guys. So if you'll have this graphing by calculator paper out in front of you, I told you the day that we did graphing by system, the graphing systems of equations, that there was a way to do it in your calculator. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. But the first thing I need you to do is write out some steps, or otherwise you don't know how to use the calculator. So over here in this big box, if you would, we're going to put step 1. We're going to solve for slope intercept. Okay, after you solve for slope intercept, you're going to do all the calculator stuff. So here you go. Here's all your calculator stuff. The first button you're going to hit is y equals, and I'm going to box all the calculator buttons. Okay, you're going to plug your equations into y1 and y2. So it doesn't matter which one you put where, as long as you put both of them in. After that, you're going to hit graph. Okay, the reason you hit graph is because you're going to make sure they intersect. Okay, after you make sure that they intersect, the next buttons you're going to press are second and then trace. Okay, and then you're going to scroll and you're going to find number 5, which is the intersection or the intersect. And you're just going to hit enter on number 5. I forgot the 5. Okay. It's going to then graph. After it graphs, the calculator is going to prompt you and it's going to say first curve. Can't spell. Okay, when it says first curve, just hit enter. And then it's going to say second curve. When it says second curve, just hit enter again. And then it's going to say guess. And you just need to hit enter one more time. And then after you do all those calculator steps, your calculator is going to say intersection, and you're going to write the intersection as a point. Okay, so showing you this now. I'm going to actually clear my calculator first. Okay, that did not work. There you go. Okay, so all these steps, if you look over here, you have these equations. I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to put x plus 6 in the first one and negative 2x minus 3 in the second one. Once I have them in y1 and y2, I press graph. The lines will graph. The lines do intersect, so we're going to use the calculator to find the exact intersection. So now we press second trace. That's this top 4th button. And this is where you'll see, you'll scroll down to 5 and you'll go to intersect and hit enter. Okay, it pops up, and I told you the first prompt was first curve, hit enter. The second prompt is second curve, hit enter. And then it says guess, so hit enter. And now it tells you your intersection, and your intersection is negative 3, 3. Okay, now what I want y'all to do just for practice is you already have the equations, so let's graph them really quick. So I'm going to go up here to 6, rise 1, run 1. And remember, when you're doing these, you need to plot all your points so that way you don't miss any. Okay, for my other one, I go down negative 3, and I'm going to go down to right 1. Okay, those are my 2 lines. I'm going to draw my lines in. And I'm going to just check. Did it intersect at negative 3, 3? And yes, it did. Okay, so now for example 2, I kind of wrote all in this box where I was going to show my work, but I can fit my work right here for this one. So for example 2, I'm going to do example 2 and example 4. For example 2, for the first equation, you got 5x minus y equals negative 5. Okay, remember I told you y'all could not show me the first step. So I'm going to get negative y equals negative 5x minus 5 because you move the x by changing the sign. And then you have to divide by the number in front of y. So you get y equals 5x plus 5. Okay, for your second equation, I'm going to move the x by changing the sign, so I get negative 6y equals negative 3x plus 24. And then I'm going to divide by negative 6, which gives me y equals 1/2 x minus 4. Okay, now that I have both equations, I'm going to go back to y equals and clear them out. And I'm going to do my two equations. I have 5x plus 5, and I have 1/2 x minus 4. I'm going to graph it to make sure that they are intersecting lines. Okay, they are intersecting, so we're going to press second trace. We're going to go down to number 5 and hit enter. When it says first curve, hit enter. When it says second curve, hit enter. When it says guess, hit enter. And your intersection is going to be, I'm going to write it right here this time, -2, -5. And now I'm just going to draw my lines to make sure that that is true. I'm going to start at +5, and I'm going to rise 5, run 1. Okay, for my other line, I'm going to start at -4, and I'm going to rise 1, run 2. The lines do intersect, and they do intersect at -2, -5, so I got that one right. Okay, now I'm going to skip down, and I'm going to go to problem number 4, and since I don't have my instructions there anymore, I'm going to actually show my work over on this side. So I'm going to do x minus 3y equals -15, which means I have -3y equals -x minus 15. I'm going to divide everything by -3, which gives me y equals 1/3 x plus 5. Okay, your other equation is x equals -3. Now, the reason I picked to do this problem is if you go to y equals, when you go over to y equals, do you notice how it says y? You cannot turn this to x, so you cannot graph this line. So this is the type of problem where you're actually going to have to do it by hand. The calculator can't do it for you. So you're going to start up 5 and rise 1 and run 3. I'll draw my lines in there. Okay. With that, I'm going to now do x equals -3. I'm going to go to the x-axis at -3, and that has to be a vertical line. So when I draw that line in there, my lines are intersecting at -3, 4. And that's my answer. Okay, I'd like for y'all to try these on your own. If you have any questions, let me know.